Who will be the next manager for the Houston Astros? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Now we're going to get to who will be the next manager for the Houston Astros. Some new odds just came out.
Yep.
We got a list of names, fellas. Joe Espada, Will Venable, Buck Showalter, Brad Ausmus, AJ Hinch, Carlos Beltran, Joe Madden, Don Mattingly, Joe Girardi. Des, let's get right into it. Those are some of the odds, or some of the names on these new odds that just came out.
It's just like this team cannot have a normal offseason. So let's just go through some of the managers that we will just cross right off the list. Right
no
off
chance,
of that.
right?
No chance.
Yeah.
This is a legacy no chance. Like we can't be wrong when we're saying these guys can't.
Yeah.
I mean, if we are, it's,
Okay, but
numbers.
Okay, well, we can start. Joe Girardi's not going to be the manager.
Joe Girardi's
Astros.
not going to be
See you
the
later.
National. See you later.
All right.
Don Mattingly, offensive coordinator.
Just got promoted.
See you later.
Not going to happen.
We don't need a headset
These are the odds by Vegas, by the way. We're not just pulling
these are
names
Vegas
out of-
odds.
We're not pulling these names out of our ass.
Carlos Beltran. Not going to happen.
No.
You want to bring back Carlos Beltran, one of the leaders in the sign stealing scandal? Yeah. Not going to happen.
You know what? I'm for it. Turn all heel.
You want to bring him back?
Interview him.
Just bring
interview.
back. You know what? Look.
Just interview him. See what happens if you interview him. Just orange team dad.
This is what we do. Bring back the trash cans. The Yankees bring back steroids. We bring back
And
Carlos
Apple
Beltran. Who?
Apple Watches.
Yeah, Apple Watches for the Red Sox.
Other camera systems.
I'm
and
sure the
other
Rangers
places.
cheated at some point. Adolfo Garcia's on steroids.
Let's bring back Greenies.
There you go.
You know what? I mean,
Why
if
not?
you think about it, the Rangers cheated because we're in a recession and they spent all that money.
True.
Is
True.
the Texas Rangers the reason why we're in a recession right now?
Yeah, probably.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah. So
That's actually a funny bit.
that would be funny. Let's find out.
The national debt and inflation rate due to the Rangers spending money.
You know what? Before we get into like each name that we actually think could have a chance, and per these odds from Vegas that we just read, we're not talking about the New Orleans Zephyrs. We're not talking about the Fayetteville Woodpeckers.
What a pull.
We're not talking about the El Paso Chihuahuas job. Okay?
Chihuahuas.
This is the Houston Astros.
This
all
is
right?
like if Nick Saban retired.
This
is the
might
Alabama.
You could argue this is the biggest managerial opening, one of the biggest in baseball history as far as where the team is set.
This should be one of the most coveted head coaching manager spots in all of sports right now.
Yeah.
Think about the jobs that could come open in the NFL. You got to look at,
Potentially the Patriots.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers could have an opening spot after the season. You look at the Patriots, the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know. You look at the New Orleans Saints, they might want to move on from Dennis Allen. Like the Raiders just fired Josh McDaniels. There are several jobs in the NFL, but you look at their rosters, all the rosters I just said, you look at the NBA, it's always a toss-up. You never know. Players are going left and right all the time. But then you look at what the Astros have, and you look at the positions that are open. Who would you rather go to, the Brewers or the Astros?
Houston Astros, Your Honor.
This is like
what I'm saying is like they have.
This is like if Andy Reid retired right now.
Yeah.
Right. You could walk right into Kansas City and look at that roster and you know you're going to be successful. The same thing here.
This is what I said about James Click, and this is what I said about Dana, and this is what I'm saying now about the manager search. Do you want to fluff up your Wikipedia page or not?
Right.
Do you want to be a champion for the rest of your life?
So
here's an opportunity.
And my whole point with that is, why is it taking so long? They should have people lined up left and right for this job. And then another thing, and I know we're going to get into Joe Espada, but if they really wanted Joe Espada, don't you think he would have been hired by now? What is the wait?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Why are we waiting? So, will Joe Espada be the next manager of the Houston Astros? Let's talk about that one.
What do you think?
All right, Dez. Is it going to be Joe Espada?
Yes.
Why hasn't it already happened?
Yeah, why are they waiting so long? You think he's upset that they're taking so long?
In a vacuum, yes. He's a manager. Why is it taking so long? I have no idea. I think the very first thing is, hey, maybe find out when his contract expires.
That's a
Tough look.
really tough.
We're
look.
we're
I love
Dana
Dana
guys.
Brown.
We're Dana guys.
We are.
We're Dana guys.
You should know
Say,
what's going on.
You know what? No, you know what? I'll be his voice of reason. As a GM, you have a lot going on. Traveling to Arizona, probably a little jet lag.
Okay, but you
probably not his fault. Maybe not an updated memo.
They have
rough look.
They have Wi-Fi on planes.
I'm trying
It is a rough
to
look.
think. It's a rough look.
I mean, what's stopping him from what's stopping the Brewers just from like scooping up Joe before they?
I think the worst look was saying that we have him hostage.
Yeah,
when he just walked in.
It's like, I have them hostage in my basement. They're just in the yard. They're like,
the Giants wanted Bob Melvin. They went and got him. Bob Melvin was still under contract with the Padres, and the Padres let him go. But what I'm saying is, like, if you want somebody bad enough, you go get them.
I also think it's probably a game of posturing and business where both sides are using the media to get a better contract. And we just saw Craig Counsell get a crazy contract for a manager.
I
think he made more money in that than he did playing baseball.
Yeah. The Cubs fired David Ross to go hire Craig Counsell.
It's getting ugly out there.
Did him dirty.
Okay, so that leads right into my thing. If you want Joe Espada as your manager, you should have hired him last week.
I think this is what you can do. I think this is maybe what the Astros are doing. They're waiting for all the musical chairs to be filled up and then be like, all right, Joe, you got to come back to the negotiating table. And the other way is Joe could be like, hey, I'm going to talk to Milwaukee. Yeah. You're going to send me something or not? So I think there's a game of chicken happening right now.
Is it though? Like, why are they interviewing other candidates? Dana Brown said he was interested in Craig Counsell, right? They're interested in Ray Montgomery. Okay? Ray Montgomery, one of Bagwell's poker buddies. They're interested in other names. Like, if you're interested in other names, and if you want to do your due diligence, that just shows me that you're leaving the door open and an opportunity to find somebody better than Joe Espada. Yeah. If they wanted Joe Espada, they should have hired him by now, but they haven't. So that shows me, in my opinion, I don't know how you, I know we're talking about it, but in my opinion, they don't want him bad enough.
It's like when you ask the pretty girl to the prom,
right?
She goes to see who else is going to ask her first
before
she says yes.
I'll play devil's advocate. Don't you want to turn over every rock to make sure this decision's right? Because I do feel
if I was in love with Joe Espada as the next manager, he's my guy, and I'm leaving no doubt, no question.
I like turning over every rock.
See,
you're going to find somebody better. You're going to find something will show you that you think you can find somebody better.
The grass is always not greener on the other side.
I agree.
For sure.
100%.
But I'm also want to look and make sure every rock is turned over before I make that decision.
Okay, so but that also goes right back into what I'm saying. If you were dead set 100% on Joe Espada, you wouldn't turn over a rock because you got the rock right there.
But isn't there confidence of saying, hey, the only internal candidate is Joe Espada?
Right, but also
isn't that a vote of
I agree. I agree, but he's also been here since 2018, and he's been interviewed for other manager spots in other places. 2 interviews with the Cubs. He doesn't get them, and he stays here. If you think he's your guy, he's your guy.
Yeah, you've had enough time to.
You've had plenty of time
to evaluate him.
I agree. I said yes. I just think also the vacuum of the powers to be and the Game of Thrones game that's happening behind the scenes. We don't have to tiptoe around. There's a Game of Thrones situation happening in the background of our favorite team.
So do you think there's a power struggle
between Crane and Dana?
No. Do you think it's honestly, man? Does Crane have as much say as we think?
Oh yeah. I don't think Dana's making the decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, Dana's going to be like, "This is who I want. Here's all the reasons why," and then it'll go to the boss man. The boss man make a decision.
Right.
I just think that's how it is.
Yeah.
I also have never seen Game of Thrones, so I was trying to catch the reference.
Or just a lot of jockeying and politics of power players.
Let's finish the Joe Espada talk with how long, if you're Joe, how much longer do you wait before you just pull out completely?
He's not under contract anymore, so he can go do whatever he wants.
If they haven't made a decision on you by January, are you just going to say no anyways?
Dude, if we haven't made a decision by January, there is something wrong.
I do think Joe Espada and his camp should give a hard line.
Yeah.
Because he can't have all the other chairs get filled up and be left holding the bag.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Angels just hired Ron Washington. They wanted Ron Washington. They went and got him. Craig Counsell
the Mets
to the Cubs.
The Mets went and got the Yankees bench coach.
Right, Mendoza. And then you got the Cubs just hired Craig Counsell. Brewers need a job. Brewers need a manager. Padres need a manager, which I also read that is AJ Perilla, the general manager, looks like he's finalizing his candidate, but they haven't released any names. So they're about to fill their vacancy. Next thing you know, we're going to be here next week, and the Astros are going to be the only team without a manager.
Yeah, and all the candidates we wanted are
going to be gone.
I just feel like this is Espada's. I think any manager job is a dream job for him. I don't think there's a better scenario fit. How we talked about earlier in the episode of you have a chance to
he
win a World Series
job,
over the next because the team
is taking his time.
But you also have the human factor of, hey, I'm kind of being dicked around right here, and I'm not being treated right in a
That's
sense.
what I'm saying. Like,
the human element.
How long do you wait before you say?
I think the longer it goes on, that should show me if I'm Joe Espada and they're not 100% on me. And then I start feeling like I'm being dicked around.
Is there a manager decided before Thanksgiving?
I would hope so.
Yes.
I think I give a hard line. Like,
I would give
before
a hard
the
line
holidays.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go. If I was Joe Espada, I would not want to go into the holidays wondering if I'm going to be the next manager or not. Because I would want to make plans to, if I'm not going to be the manager. Honestly, if Joe Espada does not become the manager, he's going to leave.
Oh, for sure.
He's going
100%.
somewhere else.
100%.
He'll be a bench. He'll be
a bench coach.
Craig Council's bench coach.
Right. He'll be a bench coach somewhere else.
Yes.
Right. So if I'm Joe Espada, I would give them a hard line. And if they don't make me the next manager, then I'm going into the holidays looking for my next job, or I already have my next job lined up, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I agree.
So it just baffles me that it hasn't been said that it's him yet. So if it's not Joe Espada, could Will Venable be the next manager of the Houston Astros? All right, Will Venable is the bench coach for the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
It's an interesting one.
This is always
an interesting one. Right now, he's got 8-1 odds.
I've been tweeting about it.
From Vegas.
I've been hearing.
Could it be Will Venable?
If they went outside, I heard if you go shopping outside your store, it's a name.
Rob your enemy store. You're gonna do it.
In a perfect world, would it not be a Jim Crane thing to go steal the young up and coming manager of your rival who just beat you in your house and won a World Series?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
And the guy's sharp.
Yeah.
The guy he played in the show, sharp, and looks forward thinking. If it's not Joe Espada, this has been my guy. Of all the other names, Will Venable has been a name that's been chirped about and a name that I personally like. Obviously, it's Joe 1, Will 2 in my rankings.
How long has he been the Rangers bench coach? You know,
2 years.
2 years.
So he has been. He was with the Cubs as a coach from 2018 to 2020. He was with the Red Sox from 2021 to 2022. He's been with the Rangers this year.
This year.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is. Let's see. He was born in 82.
He's like 40, right?
I'm bad at math.
He's not very old.
Well,
I think he's
41.
41.
Yeah,
I think he's 41.
41.
Yeah.
So he'd be.
He was an Ivy League guy too, I believe.
Let's see.
He played his college ball.
Smart guy.
He's from Princeton.
Wow.
All Ivy League.
I mean,
honors.
that's very Dana Brown.
Hey,
buddy.
He played baseball and basketball at Princeton.
I mean, I feel like he would be a good fit. Can you speak Spanish?
I mean, you got Duolingo, bro.
That's true. I mean, Dusty's cool thing was like, you know, he could speak to everybody. You know?
I care about gold banners.
Okay. No, I agree.
I don't care about banana pudding. I don't care about Duolingo. I care about gold.
So
give me the gold. And I think it's a shot across the bow of this battle of I-45 that's going to be roaming for the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll take your guy.
At the end of this, I'll make y'all say who you want it to be. So we'll save that. We won't say it now, but we'll save that for at the end.
8-1 odds. It's a good little flyer too on the Vegas side.
And what's funny is when you look at these odds that we've kind of been going through, you don't see Walt Weiss on there or Eric Young.
Well, Eric Young is now officially going over to be the third base coach.
Oh, okay.
For Juan Washington.
So is Torrey Hunter.
Oh, so when did that come out today?
Dropped last night.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Must have missed that one.
Ron dropped. I think I don't know if
so
Josh
he's taking
pull it up.
He pulled up his full. He has his
Ron's taking like a bunch of Braves guys.
Torrey Hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's
going to be the first base coach or something.
Yeah,
wow,
he's got a pretty cool coaching staff.
Well, the Angels need it because they suck.
Honestly, I got chirped a little bit. I said it was a great hire for the Angels because I think it's a culture change for them, and they need it. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna jump up like the Rangers did. They're losing Ohtani. Obviously, they still have Mike Trout.
Okay, so yeah, Eric Young Sr. In consideration.
Chili Davis is the hitting coach. Torrey Hunter is the first base coach. Eric Young Sr. at third.
Damn, and Clint Hurdle?
Clint Hurdle is the bench coach, and Ryan Goins is the infield
coach.
Yeah, they have a good staff.
Well,
that's what they need. They need structure, and they need a bunch of guys with loud voices and experience to like guide that. And going in the first day, already having your whole entire coaching staff like on that's confidence.
Okay.
It's a reset of culture there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. All right, so that was Will Venable. I think he's a interesting candidate.
What
I like the
what
young and
cons?
up-and-coming.
What cons do you have of that? The being young,
Probably
the unknown?
inexperience would be the only one. But yeah, man, you take a step back and is this what the Astros need? Could they need like kind of a reset in the clubhouse? Meaning at the managerial position, they went from AJ Hinch to Dusty Baker, and now we don't know who it's going to be. And yet, if it's not Joe Espada, then you're going to be bringing in an external candidate. And if it's Will Venable, he's 41, so he's got a couple of years of coaching experience.
Yeah.
But hell, dude, I mean, shit, like that might be what they need.
A year under Bochy and winning a championship.
That'll go a long way.
Not a bad coaching tree.
That'll go a long way.
Yeah.
Not a bad coaching tree.
So I would say inexperience would be my con. I like the youth factor, to be honest with you. I like 41 years old. Like, that might become it. Pause.
I mean, that's how we felt with AJ. Like, I thought AJ was going to be our manager the next 20 years.
I think everybody did.
Yeah. So, I mean, so we had the Dusty reset.
Fuck you, Carlos Beltran.
We had the Dusty reset.
And Alex
So
Cora.
now go to another young coach that could be, maybe the coach for a while.
Yeah.
So next.
Maybe that's why it's
Espada's
taking so
young.
long to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's taking so long to decide, because they're like, whoever it is, we want this person to be our coach.
I do feel like there's some positioning in the background of doing interviews as well without it coming out, because it'll be a really bad look of like we interviewed the Rangers bench coach. He said no.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. It was always you, Joe.
It was always you, right?
It was always
That's
you.
Gonna be a
You know
bad
what I mean?
look.
Like now it's a bad
look.
But there's nothing that we've done in the last 4 off seasons that hasn't been a bad look. So
Yeah.
it's probably just par for the course now.
Yep. So then another name on this list is Buck Showalter. I don't even want to address Buck Showalter.
We can skip both.
There's no way
He's not going to be there.
He's got 9-1 odds for whatever
Hold
reason.
on.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Absolutely not.
Devil's advocate.
No.
Hold on. Crane has said he wanted a splash.
Buck Showalter
That's
is your
not a
splash?
I mean,
The
it was
splash-
20 years ago.
No.
If baseball players are making decisions, that probably resonates.
No, I mean, I would say that last year before he went to the Mets and just.
I'm not
crashed and
advocating
burned.
for Buck Showalter. I'm just saying.
I know you're playing devil's
I don't
advocate,
think it's
but-
a splash anymore with how much he's failed since he left.
I agree, but
Baltimore.
is there a name with all the baseball guys in group?
Yeah, I hear you. He's a coach.
Ain't happening. No.
I don't think it's happening, but
No.
9-1 odds, that's the third best odds.
So Vegas knows
There has
something.
to be something there.
know,
Someone had
that's
to
what I'm
float
saying.
something to give 9-1 odds.
That's wild.
There's a reason why they can have a bunch of lights in the desert. They don't lose.
Well, it's a hard no for me.
It's a hard no for me too.
Yeah. All right.
Unless you want to come on the podcast, Buck.
Yeah, come on with it, Buck. Show us something. Brad Osmus could. Where are you going? Okay, good.
I don't want Brad Osmus. I don't watch him hit 200.
Is there a chance that Brad Osmus could be the next manager of the Houston Astros? I can't even get all the way out. All right,
there's
Brad
clearly
Osmus.
a chance.
Brad Osmus, 10-1 odds. It's a hard fucking no for me. No. Why would you want the guy that was the manager for the Angels when drug use was running rampant in the clubhouse and it eventually killed one of their players? R.I.P. Tyler Skaggs. The manager, Brad Osmus.
There's going to be a lot of hard questions he has to answer before I even consider him.
Yeah.
What happened?
That being one.
But not even just that. On the baseball side of it, he
No,
was not good with the Tigers. He made bad decisions. He was not good at his job. Maybe he's learned, but
he got a really good roster when he was with the Tigers his first year. He had a really good roster, and they got swept. They got swept in the ALDS. Okay?
I mean, there's a coin flip chance it's him, though.
What tells us that he should be the next manager?
There's nothing. Jeff Bagwell.
It's another poker buddy.
Look, I'm not going to... He played in the show for, I don't know,
He was here for a while.
15 years, Brad Osmus did. Ivy League, smart individual. The biggest thing is his best friend wields a ton of power.
And why? Jeff Bagwell should be focused on player development, not front office decisions. If he's out there watching dudes hit BP in spring training and during the season, okay, I trust him there. Just hard pass, man. No.
I mean, there's a legitimate chance he's a for sure a finalist before when it's all said and done. I think he finishes top 3 in this.
Ugh.
And it
Dude,
could be 1.
He was the runner-up for the GM spot.
That's why I'm saying there's
what the
if he was
fuck?
2 for GM,
Dude,
you're telling me he doesn't have a chance to outright
I
be
know.
the manager?
If Ballpark Entertainment VP became open, Jeff Bagwell would say we should hire Brad Ausmus.
I'm gonna say this is my take. I don't think he gets manager, but I do think he gets a position.
Fucking A,
Whether it's
man.
some sort of baseball ops position or
Make it like an advisor.
maybe he's a liaison, but like make a new position.
such a cool
liaison
job.
between like GM and manager, some sort of shit. Like just to get his butt in the room.
Just absolutely just no.
I mean, look, I've been a good soldier. I toe the party line. This is
where you draw the
this
line.
is where this is my hard line.
First
Yeah.
they came for my
And look, the Astros could probably win games with Brad Ausmus being the manager and have a shot to win the World Series. But
Do you trust his decision making?
But here's my thing. I'm less worried about the next 2 years than I am about the next like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
I want a guy that's going to be around and that I trust can navigate the ship when we start losing, our window starts closing a little bit. We still have young talent, but
there's going to be some really hard decisions that are going to have to be made the next 2 years. What are you going to do with Jose Altuve? What are you going to do with Alex Bregman? What are you going to do with Framber Valdez? What are you going to do with Kyle Tucker?
this is what you do. You sign Altuve and Bregman. You let Framber walk. He's a free agent at 32. That's just part of the game.
Yeah. And then what do you do with Kyle Tucker?
Maybe you can flip him.
well,
Kyle Tucker, I feel like you have to extend. You have to find a way to extend him. Obviously, there's not an infinite war chest, even though Jim Crane has made so much money over the last 6 years.
Yeah.
That war chest is pretty filled. You lock those 3, you let Framber walk or even flip him.
we'll talk about.
I'm okay
we'll
with
talk
that.
more.
Well,
about
I'm just
this
saying,
on
like,
a
you were
free
talking
agent
about the next couple years.
No,
like,
I hear you.
This is where I'm at with Brad Ausmus. Can the Astros win a World Series with Brad Ausmus? Yes. I think they can.
I think this team, with the shit, either luck the way it goes with playoffs, this team could win with anybody as manager.
Well,
It's the odds
easy
are
Astros
down.
Twitter.
No, I'm
easy
just saying
Astros
the odds
Twitter.
are down.
Yeah,
but
that was a real Astros.
That's an
Twitter thing
Astros
to
Twitter
say.
take.
No, I mean, I think any team, any roster you throw out there, you could take out all the managers and all of the teams,
Well,
and you just talent on there.
a Hall of
Somebody's
Fame
gonna-
manager just lost in the ALCS.
Yeah.
I
So I don't think
think
anybody can come in and manage.
No, I don't think anybody. I just mean like there's a 5% chance that
Yeah.
in a 2-year outlook with Brad Ausmus being a manager, I think we see continued success.
Yeah.
I think it falls off dramatically after that with also decisions of pillars leaving or not signing or whatever it is. I don't think he's the guy to guide that ship then. And then that means, okay, you win,
So we're hiring
it
a
drops
manager for
off,
2
and then
years.
you're hiring another manager after he shows you that he's a 60 or 70 win manager.
Ugh.
Okay.
So going into this, you're thinking
I want to extend the window for 5. Whoever you hire, I want to make sure we win for the next 5. I don't want to win for 2.
I agree.
I don't want it to fall off after that, and then you have to go fire that guy, then hire that guy, the next guy. I want this hire to be the window for 5. So if Brad Ausmus is the hire, and this may just be a take in 3 years that I get bookmarked on, I think it's a signal of the last days of Rome. I think it's equivalent. There's a little history lesson for you right now. Nero becoming the Caesar of Rome, the power broker. The last days of Rome fell when Nero, and there's a picture of him watching Rome burn. It's like this iconic art piece. I think it would be equivalent to that. Rome didn't collapse in one night.
Right.
It happened over time. I think this would signify that.
Wow.
That's where I
I
stand
would-
with Brad Ausmus.
I would agree with you.
All right.
But if
I
he's
don't
hired,
want Brad Ausmus anywhere near this club, and I don't want Jeff
but you can come
Bagwell
on the
making,
podcast, Brad.
I don't want Jeff Bagwell making front office decisions.
Well,
Drives me fucking nuts.
he has been, and that's why I think he's a finalist. I think he may be a
All right.
top
well,
2.
I don't even want to talk about it
Okay.
anymore. Just keep fucking-
I know.
All right, this one. Look, I didn't even think we were gonna have to address this one, but I think
I think you
we
have
should-
to. I think you have to have the conversation.
Could AJ Hinch come back and be the manager of the Houston Astros?
We just saw it with Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
my parking. We're good. I'll do it on the app.
We just saw it with Bob Melvin. He left his team mid-contract
Yep.
out of nowhere and moved in division to to another team.
To the Giants.
So it's not
out of the realm of possibility.
No, I mean it's not, which is insane. I would not have been able to say that.
I don't know if Jim Crane would do that.
That's where I stand. I don't think he would.
He would have to reverse on everything he has said.
Yeah.
Well, what's he said though?
About when the scandal broke.
Yeah, just the reasoning of firing them.
Yeah, but I feel like, in my opinion, dipshit Rob Manfred made him say that.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, Rob Manfred had to go to Jim Crane and say, you're either firing your manager and your general manager, or I'm taking the trophy.
Title away. 100%. I think a business decision was definitely made.
Had to be made. So I think Jim Crane loved AJ Hinch, and I also think he loved Jeff Luhnow.
I mean, it wouldn't take that much spin to be like, it's been a few years. I think he's a different man.
Oh, dude, I play that Diddy song all the time.
He's a different man now. You know,
AJ Hinch still lives in Houston. He still has ties here. Okay.
Still has his boys here.
He
still has his players here.
Yeah, he's still got a lot of his players here.
Could be some advocating.
Do you think there is? You think there could be?
I don't know. I mean,
dude, I don't know what the players think. I feel like the players want Joe Espada.
Yeah, I would. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like.
But
this
I wonder.
Team is like we can win with Joe.
But I also wonder if there's some of them that miss AJ Hinch and would want him.
Maybe.
I feel like that's a thing. Also, I think AJ has an opportunity to go from 2 to 1 if he came back.
Yeah.
To become like Dusty Baker is by far the best Astros manager ever.
Currently. No question.
AJ Hinch is 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he came back and won a title or NC State got a couple pennants, he would then leapfrog him. And there would be conversations for that.
Could you imagine?
It would be heel turn.
Weird all around.
But I'm just saying, honestly, could you imagine?
Yeah.
If he came back.
I'd start calling AJ Napoleon. We sent you off to an island, you fucking came back.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though?
Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of weird all around. It'd be a little awkward, I think. You know, when they do like promotional stuff and like
it's
just
like
around the team, like
it's like mom and dad got divorced. Mom found someone new, and then mom went back to your dad.
Yeah. I mean, which is the making of a beautiful coming of age movie.
Yeah,
or something,
that is
there you go, Marvel.
That is how a divorce works, and the ex goes back to the other ex. Indeed, yeah, good. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So it could happen.
So do you think do you think that it could happen?
I think AJ Hinch has better odds than Buck Showalter.
I agree.
I agree. What the fuck? I don't know why. Why does Buck Showalter have 9-1 odds?
I think there's a business decision that has to be made with AJ Hinch. If you came back, if you found a way to, and the Astros made it happen, and he left his
and the Tigers say yes, sure, you can go.
He will forever, 100% be tied to the Houston Astros and 2017.
Yes,
like there's no turning of the chapter. If you come back,
that also
brings everything back.
Yeah,
that happened.
Well, and also it's different than Bob Melvin because that whole situation in the Padres is kind of fucked. But AJ has been.
They had to get a loan, dude. They couldn't. They can't even afford to keep their lights on.
But AJ has been preaching and trying to build something in Detroit. So if he's working to build this for years, and then he just jumps ship, like that's tough on like his reputation, I think.
For sure. And then now you're back in bed with the Astros.
Yeah.
Like,
so instead of building this thing that you've been trying to build, you're just jumping ship immediately when things get a little tough. Like, I mean, they were second in their division last year, and they have prospects coming up. So it's not like he's failing. Tough. He's not failing. It's taking longer than they thought.
I think he would have that conversation with his family though.
100%.
I think if the Astros informally came to him, said, "Look, you want to tango again?" That'd be a really hard conversation you have to have.
I don't think it'd be that hard.
I think the Astros would have to want him more than he would want the Astros, and I don't see that happening.
Either way, I don't think it's happening.
I think he has, like I said, I think where my stance is he has better odds than Showalter, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
All right, so that rounds out our list.
Yeah, that's our list. So let me ask you all this.
Yeah.
First, do you think there needs to be a change of culture at all with this current team? Do you think we need to bring in somebody with any sort of fresh perspective or whatever?
So I think the winning culture has been established here for a while. I think Jeff Luhnow brought in that winning culture and changed the game essentially, right? With analytics and things like that, and an outside way of doing things inside a baseball organization, right? So I think the winning culture is there. I think it's been established, correct?
Yeah, and I even mean also just like personal.
So what I was going to say is like, I think there might have been a comfortability that might have been had the guys a little bit too comfortable this season.
Yeah,
kind of like lackadaisical. Oh, we can sleepwalk a little bit here and there, and we can turn it on and off whenever we want. I think they turned it off a little bit too much, right? Especially down the stretch, and I think. Maybe perhaps they thought, hey, when we get into the playoffs, this is where we turn it on. We do this all the time. Well, other teams are getting better, right? We saw with the Rangers. As much shit as we talk about the Rangers, there's no question they had one of the best offenses all season long. And the Astros beat them in the regular season series, right?
Yeah.
But then when you get into October, we know this is a different animal.
Yeah.
But then I also think, and again, Dusty Baker is the best manager the Astros have ever had. He's a Hall of Fame manager. He has been through it all, right? But I do think that his inconsistent lineups wore down some players. I think so. My issue with Joe Espada is if they were to bring him in, or not bring him in, but give him the title, that means it's a seamless transition, almost like if nothing ever happened.
And that's why I asked this question.
The continuity, which is huge.
So I wonder if that comfortability would still be around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wonder. And there's some younger guys in there. Yanier Diaz, okay, he's young and upcoming. I don't know if the culture needs to change, but for me, like another thing that I worry about is Joe Espada's been interviewed for other positions for the manager, and he's never been awarded one. Like, why is that? It's like Eric Bieniemy in the NFL. Dude's apparently a mastermind with offense. Has been interviewed for so many head coaching jobs in the NFL, never been hired.
Is it as simple as and everyone watching and everyone can relate to this? Someone you may be it, or someone knows someone that's like someone just bad at taking tests.
I was gonna say, is he a bad interviewer? Got to be, right?
I know some of my smartest buddies put all the time in work, homework, all that stuff, and then when the test came, they just
you can't get it done.
It's not a fault to any of them. Just when the test came, it didn't work. Obviously, the results for baseball is not a test each time. You could still win or lose, but the interview process, is it just not good at interviewing?
Yeah.
So it does. I mean, do you think that there needs to be a new guy to come kick?
This is
like
kind
a
of
foot in the ass type thing.
This is kind of where I am. This is from Hefe. And actually, it's a tweet we should put out on Apollo.
From who?
From Jeff Luhnow, December 2nd, 2022. Rangers got a lot better. Never, in all caps, underestimate your division competition. Seattle, Texas, LA, Oakland, they will all be better. Next tweet. Complacency and arrogance are the two quickest paths to a decline. A sense of urgency is always needed! ! No matter the sport or the business.
Man, I wish
that's a fucking bar.
Dude,
so this is where I am.
Yeah, the complacency resonates to me because I think that's where I think they had that.
Is there someone right now in the front office with this mindset and attitude? Publicly,
no.
No one's a shark. We can all say Jeff Luhnow is a shark.
Absolutely.
He should be literally with Cuban and all them on that fucking show.
Yeah.
If you're not getting this at the top, I need a guy who would be a leader of men.
Yes.
With this attitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that an outside hire?
Is that Will Venable?
Is that Joe?
Is that
Joe Espada?
Is that Joe Espada? Can someone step up in this vacuum and be a leader of men?
I think
on the flip side of what you're saying, it could be.
It could be.
Joe could have been waiting. He's like, give me the keys and I'll turn this up.
It very well could be.
Yeah.
But then also what I've heard about him is he's a player's coach, right? Some of the players want him. He gets along with the players. Well, sometimes that's a little too buddy for me. Look, sometimes that could be too buddy. Does that make sense?
This is the dichotomy of how sports should be. Like that word.
Word of the day.
But SAT word of the day.
Yeah, there we go.
Every player should have a love-hate with their manager.
Yes.
You should love the guy, go to war for him, but there's also times where you should be butting heads with him and despise the guy.
Yeah.
The bench coach should be the buffer between that.
Yes.
The bench coach is the buddy.
If he's been playing that role like he's supposed to be, then but he has idea to change it as a manager, then great.
100%. But now, if he's been buddy with all the guys, hey, Dusty shoot someone out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's the guy that Dusty's like, hey, go.
He's
Look,
the fun dad.
I kicked that puppy. Like, go make the puppy. Make sure
Hey,
they're good.
I just ripped Jake Myers' ass. Can you go?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Pick him up.
That's reality of fucking sports.
Yeah.
As that bench coach, you have those relationships with the players. That's where he's the relationship, the players coach. Now he's the manager. Now he has to have those tough conversations. The cool teacher that you just had
Is now
the principal.
he's now the principal. Yeah. So that's a tough changing of guard. Like
For sure. Now there's this vacuum that needs to be filled with whoever now his bench coach that has to be. And now he can't be a hard ass because all the players be like,
dude,
that's
you're
fucking fake.
Fucking come on, Joe.
You know
like, you know what I mean?
So now there's a human element involved.
That's the buddy thing that I'm talking about. Like that's the thing that I worry about. Right? Is he too buddy?
Yeah. Because
of the role that you just explained. Like,
But also is buddy works on the continuity of winning culture and knowing the Astro way. Joe Espada knows how to win and he knows the Astro way.
Yeah.
Also, do I want a manager who's going to be analytics focused too and know how to blend both and know how to go when the front office seems like it's changing a bit to more old school baseball compared to where it was for Click and definitely a 180 from where Jeff and what he built. Do you now need someone to step in that power struggle of be devil's advocate for everything and not to question everyone, but be like, give another perspective?
so I think let's talk about Will Venable real quick. And I want Will Venable as the next manager. I want Will Venable, or honestly, I want Walt Weiss
Okay. I was going to ask you who you want.
from the Braves. Okay. And I'm going to talk about Will Venable. He was a bench coach for
Bochy.
for Bruce Bochy. If you look at Bruce Bochy's bullpen all year long, they were fucking terrible. But he rode the hot arms in the playoffs. Boars, whatever. Motherfucker carried like a 6 ERA or a 5 ERA going into the playoffs.
Sub-2.
And he was nasty. A manager that's heavy on analytics could have seen the analytics and said, we might go somewhere else. But Bruce Bochy being a little bit more old school and riding with his guys in the same line. John Smoltz said it in game 6 or whatever, game 6 or game 7. I forgot which, against the Astros. He said Bruce Bochy rode the same lineup a good majority of the entire season, even though he was criticized for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Bruce Bochy had a good sense of analytics, but also a good sense of feel in the dugout as a manager and what lineup he wanted out there. Will Venable was right there for all of it to learn from him. And Bruce Bochy is also a Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame manager. That's a good guy to learn from, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
So I feel like Will Venable, being 41 years old, if he comes in and is the manager for the Astros, will have that ability to know the analytics because the Astros are very analytically driven, but also still remaining, a little bit old school, even though he's younger.
I agree.
Or Joe Espada could be doing the same fucking thing.
Who do you want? Who do you want, Des?
Hold on. Game 5, 8th inning.
Joe Espada made some moves. No question, because Dusty Baker got tossed, which he should have.
Now there's going to be people in the comments be like,
That's one time, though.
Dusty gave the game plan before he left. Maybe so. Probably.
Or people could also be like I just said.
Or Joe.
That's one time. That's one time.
It was a great moves.
I agree, but I'm just playing devil's advocate on there.
For sure.
One side could say, oh, well, Dusty gave him the game plan. Or one could be on the other side saying that Joe Espada made those moves. And then on the flip side of that, well, that was only one time. How is he going to navigate a 162-game season? But anyway, I digress. Who do you want to be the next manager, Des?
Joe Espada. Literally, it's 51-49 for me.
Even how you just explained it with the principal and the
No, I agree.
the teacher, I felt like you were pretty hard pressed on that one.
I'm torn. I am a jilted lover between Joe Espada and Will Venable. I think those are my only two candidates. Respectfully, everyone else on the list, they don't do it for me. It's these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if the players are behind the scenes and no one's came out publicly and said who they wanted, which is And I hope they're if they're asking him or not, asking Altuve, Bregg, just getting a pulse of, hey, who do you guys want?
Yeah.
I think keeping the Astro way is imperative, but I also feel like it's also the downfall of the Houston Astros. I feel like you also, if you went Will Venable, it would be a great buffer into the power struggle that's happening behind the scenes. I feel like the continuity of the team that you have to hang another gold banner is huge, but it also feeds into the power struggle of the Crane Bagwell alliance, and that's kind of just all go. Still, it'll keep growing. So you're winning to the detriment of your future, essentially.
Yeah.
Or
So
you plug
you think
someone new to block that,
Yeah.
but also you're changing
Culture a little bit.
the culture of
So you
of
think
the
Joe-
Alabama
you think
Major League
Joe,
Baseball.
But it would be more of like a 2-year contract and see how, and probably go.
I
with
think he
somebody
gets.
else.
I bet he gets I bet he gets 3.
Okay.
I think any guy will get 3.
Okay.
Shit, maybe even 4. I don't know. I'd probably 3.
All right, so you're going Joe Espada. Josh, who do you want?
But it was tough. It was.
I'm after hearing both the prosecutor and the defense. My
Anna.
my judgment is I think Will Venable. I think I like everything you're talking about.
Switch.
I think, but I think it's not. It's a change, but it's not that much of a change.
Yeah.
I don't think any manager, apart from how Dusty Baker did, anybody with Dusty Baker's level of prestige, I don't think any manager can really come in his locker room and make that much of a culture change
Yeah.
because the guys are so established. But I think somebody like Will can give it just a little bit of a fresh perspective with experience, with youth, that it's exactly what we need, I think.
Also, that dude knows your fucking blind spots.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. And he knows your biggest divisional.
He just
opponent.
came. He just part of the team that came in and took 4 in your house.
I feel
to
like
go to the
that's
World
that's
Series.
even more of a reason to go hire Will Venable. He knows ins and outs of what they were doing up
Yeah,
there.
he knows how to pitch to Corey Seager. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we'll have to monitor it.
that's it for our managerial
Yeah.
episode.
Well, hopefully we don't have any more monitors.
Yeah.
That's what we call a throwback, a callback.
Yeah. All right.
All right, before we get out of here, zang it up and let us know what we got in your hand, Des.
Yeah, the Bloody Mary made with vodka mixed, ready to serve, blazing right next to you right there as well for your Sunday brunch, Saturday brunch, for your mornings watching football, college football, NFL football. Make sure you zang responsibly. Get it locally at any store, HEB, Total Wine, Specs, etc., etc. Take a little photo. Let us know when you zang responsibly. Also, Celebrity Mint. We actually have some products now finally in hand. We have right here the Ric Flair trading coin, the colorway pink. Also behind me right here, yeah, right up there, is the Ric Flair Chibi, and as well as the silver trading coin and gold trading coin. You can see the link below. Follow them on social and their store directly to get the graded 10 of 10 Ric Flair trading coins. And also, Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. We're actually going to be there Sunday. This is coming out. I don't know when this is coming out.
Tomorrow, probably.
This is coming out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. November 11th at Marquee, we are doing a, we can't say watch party. So allegedly, we're just all watching.
We're ball watching.
We're ball watching. We're ball watching at Big City Wings Marquee on I-10. Have the address on one of our tweets. Come hang out. It's the day before my birthday, so it's a little birthday bash. Texans versus Bengals. Look at me.
Game.
Look at me just going out and help support my boys supporting their boys.
Yeah, there
Because
you go.
my team is not playing. Yeah, so Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. That's it. Josh, take us
All right.
out.
Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond the Diamond Podcast. That was our managerial search. Let's see. As soon as we put this out, they probably release.
Probably.
Maybe before I drop this.
He
they
just
release
tweeted it out.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching and listening. I'm Josh. That's been Des and Brian, and we will see you next time.
Peace. Love you guys.